Marvel's The Eternals should have a trailer of footage coming out very, very soon, so we thought it was the perfect opportunity to talk about the backstory, rumors, and theories for Marvel's next epic. What's up, everybody? It's Josh. Welcome back to the channel. Do me a favor and smash that like button like the Hulk, and let's get right into this. Oh, and a reminder, we are currently doing our Battle Bracket 2020. Our tournament matchups are being decided by fan votes Monday through Friday for the rest of March, so whatever day you're watching this, there's likely a vote going on. Go check it out on our Twitter, on our Instagram, and on the community tab here to get involved. So, Marvel's The Eternals.
Who?
Yeah, who indeed? Nobody really knows, but this is the next epic film coming out from Marvel Studios, and it is said to introduce us to an eclectic cast of ancient human superpowered people. The Eternals are a race of humanoids created by genetic experimentations done by the Celestials. And you'll remember the Celestials from the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, or some crazy Marvel comics if you're a comic book reader. These ancient and powerful cosmic beings go around the universe and do experiments on very early life of planets, and then occasionally come back to see how those experiments are panning out. Classically in the comic books, they experiment on early human beings to create the Deviants, and then they create the Eternals to fight against the Deviants. Now, the Eternals were created by legendary comic book creator Jack Kirby, and the story behind it is actually really interesting. Jack Kirby was creating an event for Marvel Comics called Ragnarok. He was dealing with all the Asgardian gods, and he was going to kill them all off and create a new group of gods that would take the reign of the Asgardians and become the big powerful gods in the Marvel Universe. Late in the game, Marvel Comics decided they didn't want to kill off Thor and other Asgardian characters, and so they made Jack Kirby change that. And then he leaves Marvel to go over to DC and takes the idea he had for what would be the gods to replace the Asgardians at Marvel to create something called the New Gods over at DC. This is where you get your Darkseid, this is where you get your Orion, and this is where you get your Apocalypse. Now, interestingly enough, Jack Kirby actually wanted to end even the New Gods. He was going to do just a small stint, like a more or less closed story, and have them all actually die at the end of that story. And DC was like, no, Jack Kirby, we're not going to kill off these characters, and so he never got to finish that story, and that's where he takes that story idea and brings it over for the Eternals. So the Eternals are kind of an offshoot of the New Gods, which were kind of an offshoot of the Asgardians, and this all had to do with Jack Kirby being passed back and forth between DC and Marvel. But it's just a kind of interesting story, probably doesn't have a lot of impact on what we'll see in the film. Now, Feige has stated that he was interested in the story due to Jack Kirby's immense, amazing epic with the Eternals that spans thousands of years. The formula of the film looks to be more Guardians of the Galaxy than Avengers, because we'll see the ensemble cast from the very beginning rather than do individual films or focus on individual characters that lead up to a team-up film. The film also has an incredibly large and diverse and talented cast. We've got Richard Madden playing Ikaris, we've got Gemma Chan playing Cersei, Kumail Nanjiani is playing Kingo, Lauren Ridloff as Makari, Brian Tyree Henry as Phastos, Salma Hayek as Ajak, Leah McHugh as Sprite, Don Lee as Gilgamesh, Barry Keoghan as Druid, Angelina Jolie as Thena, and Kit Harington as Dan Whitman. It has been reported by people that we trust that Gemma Chan and Kit Harington will actually be the leads in the film, and it will focus on a love story between the Dan Whitman character that is Black Knight and Cersei. Now, there have actually been a variety of different plot leaks and rumors about what's going to happen in this film, and they all share similar things, although there are certain aspects of them that are wildly different. And it's hard to tell how much of this is coming from actual information or just speculation based on what was in the comic books, but either way, it's worth talking about some of the key things that tend to show up in many of the plot leaks. The main idea here is that the Eternals have been on Earth for thousands of years. They were indeed created by the Celestials, likely created alongside or in conjunction with the Deviants, and the Deviants were at one time their mortal enemy. The main conflict for the film seems to be focused around the Deviants and the Eternals, and it does seem like somehow the Deviants will reassert themselves or reappear on Earth. And it is at this point in the film where the Eternals are going to have to decide whether or not to remain hidden on Earth or to reveal themselves to the rest of the world as being the Eternals and protect humanity. There was a sort of trailer cut together for CCXP late last year, and there was some footage and some lines that were in that trailer that tend to lend some credence to some of these rumors and plot leaks. Apparently, Salma Hayek's Ajax character says, "These people have changed all of us. We must protect them." And so even that line kind of hints that there's going to be some kind of inciting incident, and the Eternals are going to have to decide, do we remain hidden or do we reveal ourselves and protect humanity from this new threat, which is likely to be the deviants coming back in some way. There's also a lot of rumors and discussions about Kit Harington's Whitman character, the fact that he'll likely be an archaeologist, he will be the Black Knight, and discover a thing that is continuously referred to as the Tomb of the Gods. And the big rumor here is that this Tomb of the Gods is somehow used to invite the Celestials back to Earth. Now, Kevin Feige has also made some comments that make us believe some of these things going on in the leaks and rumors. He has said that the story is epic and will take place over thousands of years, and that we will see the Celestials in their full glory. So, despite some really wild differences in some of the plot leaks and rumors, it's probably a safe bet to assume there will be an inciting incident that makes the Eternals realize in order to protect humanity, they're going to have to reveal themselves. There will be some conflict within the group of the Eternals as to what they should be doing. It's likely one or more of them do not agree with the rest of them and are either going to sit out the battle or potentially betray humanity and the Eternals and work with the Deviants. The Dane Whitman character will likely have a relationship with Cersei, and due to the powers that he receives from either his armor or the magical sword that he uses, he will have some kind of longevity with his life, likely being a little bit older than a normal human and more powerful than a human, but not quite on the level of an Eternal. Now, with all of that in mind, I actually now want to go over a trailer description that is out there for a trailer we are supposedly going to be seeing for this film in the next couple of weeks. This is all coming from Daniel Richtman, who has been absolutely nailing his scoops lately, so there's zero reason to doubt this report. This was posted on Daniel's Patreon, but one of his Patreon supporters got a hold of this and then disseminated it out to the rest of the internet. It says here there's going to be a varied amount of shots and set shots which split equally between time periods, as fans know from set photos the film will take place millennia ago as well as the present day. Furthermore, the film's stars will also be seen equally dressed in civilian clothing and their superhero outfits. Kit Harington's Dane Whitman can be seen suited up as Black Knight. In the trailer, he will be seen riding on a horse. Even though Gemma Chan's Cersei and Harington's Black Knight are the film's leads, the trailer will focus on Angelina Jolie's Thena and Richard Madden's Icarus. There's said to not be a lot of dialogue in this trailer as to not give any plot details away, but there will be a lot of different shots. Now let me talk about why I'm personally excited for the Eternals and what I sort of hope to see in the film. The number one thing I'm pumped about is the fact that we are raising the power level of the characters in the MCU. I mean, Captain Marvel was a huge leap up. I think what they're going to be doing with Wanda is going to be absolutely crazy, and Thor with Stormbreaker is really creeping up there in power as well. But now we're going to have this whole cast of these different kind of beings that are very, very strong. So just for that, I'm excited that we're upping the power level. I also love the fact that the movie's going to take place over thousands of years. There's potential for us to set a bunch of things up, including mutants. As many of you know, if you've been watching this channel, I think there is the possibility that the Eternal experiments will lead to the latent mutant gene, which could show up later on in the film, and it could even show up in this movie. This is something that kind of happens in the comic books. The mutant gene, or the X gene, is derivative of those first early experiments by the Celestials. It doesn't directly cause them, but it allows for that mutation to take place generations later. We could also be seeing how a lot of these Eternals created some of the myths that happen on planet Earth. This is something that's been rumored and leaked as well. Different myths and the idea of gods and aliens might come from different battles and scenarios in which the Eternals were either fighting the Deviants or just hanging out on Earth. I'm also super pumped that we're going to be able to see the Celestials in their full glory. I hope it's not just at the beginning of the movie when we get the explanation of how the Celestials created the Deviants and the Eternals. I hope that the Tomb of the Gods is real and that it is used to bring the Celestials back to Earth and we see them threaten the planet. That would be really freaking cool. And in general, as much as I'm excited to see what's going on in the Eternals movie, and I think it's going to be epic, and I think we're going to get great performances from Kit Harington and just basically the whole cast, but particularly from Kit. I'm very excited for Kit. Don't kill him off, Feige. You better let Kit Harington hang out in the Marvel Cinematic Universe for years. But I'm also just really pumped to see what is going to happen with these characters after this film. Are they going to join the Avengers? Are they going to have their own group that works with the Avengers, works with Sword, or does their own thing? What does the MCU look like now? And how do the Eternals, as now being this revealed group of super-powered ancient beings, how does that jive with everything else that is going on in the current MCU? There are a lot of rumors that the Gilgamesh character is going to sort of turn heel, or maybe already be exiled at the beginning of the film, and this has to do with things that happen in the comic books. But it presents this really interesting idea where maybe one or more of the Eternals actually doesn't want to help humanity out at all, or at least doesn't want to be like the Boy Scout sort of new version of the Avengers squad that the other Eternals want them to be. Maybe they go hang out with Thunderbolt Ross, join the Thunderbolts, or the Dark Avengers. That's right, I did find a place to put in Dark Avengers into an Eternals video. Either way, folks, there's sort of your catch up on the Eternals, all of the little details that are out there for it, a trailer description, and my speculation on what I'm excited about for the film and what I'm excited about for the MCU after this film takes place. I'd really love to know what you think about this. Are you excited for Eternals? Are you confused? Do you have some questions? Whatever you're thinking about, let me know in the comment section below. And now I want to shout out SLK Poetry. Yes, indeed, it is the all-black Necro sword that Gore the God Butcher uses in Marvel Comics. Really hope we get to see that in the MCU. That would be sick. And now, let's ask another nerd card question before we get out of here. I'd like to know, what is the name of the magical sword that the Black Knight character uses in Marvel Comics? That's right, we did a sword question yesterday. We're doing a sword question today. I want to know, what is the name of Black Knight's magical sword? Answer that question in the comment section below. And also, as a bonus, which sword do you think would win like in a sword fight? Like, which one's better, the Necro sword or the sword that Black Knight has? Let me know your thoughts on that in the comment section below. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching this video. The Den of Nerds is independent media. If you want to support us, you can do something as simple as liking or sharing this video. If you want to financially support us, you can join the list of names you see below and become a supporter of us on Patreon. We also do live streams all week, Monday through Friday, over on our live streaming channel. Support independent media. Support the Den of Nerds.